Hello busy bees, be busy in art. Vicky Retro Queen Bee Art. This is a photo of bird's nest and my dog. Actually, it's 4 photos put together in Canva. And here's a rotary cutting mat. It's sturdy and I can measure the edge of the paper to make sure that I am doing these scallops that I want to make into a frame around my picture. Trying to get it as straight as I can. And oops, it didn't fit. So guess what? I had to do it over again. Darn. Well, anyway, I didn't have to really measure the paper the second time around because I could measure by the ruler. And again, I just eyeball things, and I even eyeballed the second measurement. It's just the way I work. I know some people don't do that, but I work that way, very intuitive. And so the second time it works, and then I will begin cutting around the scallops with a small scissor. My dog there, see how she almost got that bird's nest? Well, she picked it up and I told her no and she put it back down. Cute little dog, my Queen Bonnie. Here I'm using my telephone book scrap page that I had made in a previous video. So if you want to make one for yourself to use, please go review the video. And I had a few things I had to glue a little better on it, and that's this netting. I got this netting from avocado, and I love to eat avocado, so I got a lot of netting. And it gets a little messy, so I brushed it off my white paper. Then I glued the side that I'm going to not cut, and I put it as straight as I could on top of the photo. And here is the collage paper again that I created from the phone book, and I'm just going to use this one sheet and cut out. And of course, I'm just using my eyes. No real measurements right here. You can measure around your portrait if you decide to use one in your junk journal. And I am making this into a very large pocket because I want to put my memory note inside it. So I keep looking, and also I'm thinking about keeping threes when you do color collage, especially around the photo. And I had to cut this side straighter than it came out. So I used my machine to do that. Now I have them all glued on, and I'm going to cut them out with a little scissor, and I just follow my scallops. And as I turn my paper to cut. Had some mess, so I got that off my paper. And then I'm going to glue the 2 sides in the bottom to attach to the white paper eventually. There it is. It worked. I was so pleased. Then I put some Daniel Smith transparent watercolor ground on top of that pet because I wanted to paint it. And I did use a yellow squash paints, HIMI, and they're new to me. I've never painted with this type of paint, so I've got to get used to it. It's not really like a watercolor, but you do thin it with water because it's very thick paint. So I colored yellow the page. I did all the edging and the inside as well. And then I decided to color around the nest, and that way it blended into the page I colored yellow. I'm a color girl, and so most of the time on my channel you'll see colors. I rarely just do just neutrals, but I know a lot of people like just neutrals, but I like to put color in mine. Now the note that you will see very soon, it's from my store, my Ko-fi store. I have it in a bunch of, let's see, what do I have it inside? I think it's where the pattern with the notebook paper, and it has the note there. But first, after it dried, I was going to glue down my pocket before I wrote my note. Now that square paper is in my Amazon store. It's a pad of graph paper by Aunt Beck Book. It's like $5.89. I use this graph paper a lot in my journals. And then you have to push the pocket down. Here's my note that I was talking about earlier. And on the back side, I just glued it to a pad of coffee-dyed elementary paper, which I got at the Dollar Tree. And I fold it longwise, and just gives it a little texture. And I fold it in half. There we go. So my story of my bird nest and my dog is in my journal for a memory.